Hi, I'm Jaime Weinman, and here are 5 key moments in the history of the US version of The Office. Not all of them are the best episodes, though some of them are, but there are 5 episodes that I think show the development of the series and how it had its own personality. The first episode is in fact the second episode of the series, Diversity Day. It was the first episode originally written for the series because the pilot was just a remake of the UK pilot. The story of Steve Carell's character of Michael Scott creating a racial firestorm when he imitates Chris Rock's famous routine about black people showed a way the series would apply Ricky Gervais's format to specifically American issues and the people you'd find in an American workplace. It also showed that the show was not just about a few characters based on the British series, but would make use of its full cast and all the people in the office, which was a unique part of the show. Next up is Casino Night, which was the finale of the second season. This was important in that it was the episode where Jim and Pam finally kissed and cemented themselves as the couple who many viewers saw as the emotional core of the show. Their popularity helped the show break out from just a niche, awkward comedy to a more mainstream hit because people liked the romance between the characters, and the writers then played up the romance in subsequent seasons. It was also an episode that was given what used to be called supersizing, which was an extra 5 minutes or so of airtime from NBC. They don't do this anymore, but back in that era, it was a sign that a show was a huge hit. Like Friends, like Will and Grace. When The Office received a supersized finale, it was a sign that it had really arrived as a hit. Season 4 was interrupted by the Hollywood writers' strike and had some problematic episodes, but it also had some of the show's darkest episodes, including The Dinner Party, which in many people's opinion is the darkest episode of this series and possibly of any US TV comedy. It takes place at a home shared by Michael Scott and Jan Levinson, and we see an almost Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf style breakdown of a relationship, played both for laughs and for drama. It showed that the US series in some ways could go even darker than the original. The departure of Steve Carell was a turning point for the show, obviously, since he was, after all, the star. In Goodbye Michael from season 7, writer and producer Greg Daniels gave him a memorable send-off, playing up all the things we had come to love about Michael Scott in spite of how annoying he was, and reminding us of all the reasons we had come to love him and why his co-workers had come to love him too, despite what a hellish boss he could be. And that happy ending for the character, for many people, was the ending of the show, although the show then went on for some time without him. Season 9, the final season of the show, was in some ways a return to form, at least in its playing up of the show's mixture of comedy and drama. In customer loyalty from season 9, the show took a big risk by both having the relationship of Jim and Pam start to experience problems, and also by having a character from the unseen documentary crew, a character named Brian, actually step out of his role as a cameraman and come into the story. The episode was controversial, and the character of Brian especially controversial. But it did put a cap on the use of the documentary framing device and sort of established how the show was different from all the other shows that have used the mockumentary device, because the characters are always aware they're being filmed, and now we know the film crew is also aware of the characters. And though it experienced the usual ups and downs of any series that runs 200 episodes, the US version of The Office still stands as one of the best American sitcoms of the 2000s, and one of the shows without which our current comedy world is unimaginable.